that are tuning in just for a specific maybe news or decision. There will be no news today. No decision on my future. No decision about my future today. So all you just tune in for that.
Hold on.
Now.
Hester, get off the pot!
Holy hell, it looks like I might have been wrong.
I really hope everyone's clipping this tape.
I will die on the Aaron Rodgers is going to the Denver Broncos hill, and I just think the writing is on the wall. You could clip this. If I'm wrong, you could spam me on Twitter with it. I am saying it over and over again on this channel. It makes too much sense for Aaron Rodgers to go to the Denver Broncos. Oh my goodness, for all of those individuals that actually kept receipts on my prediction of Aaron Rodgers going to the Denver Broncos, you get to roast me on Twitter and Instagram for however long you want. And you guys know this is like a consistent theme of my channel. I like to remind you guys that I am wrong periodically, but I feel like my analysis actually has some rationale to it. So I'm going to tell you why now I think it's a foregone conclusion that Aaron Rodgers is going to return to the Green Bay Packers. But before we get to the content, I wanted to remind you guys we're giving away $500 to a subscriber that turns on our notifications on our channel. Whether you're an old subscriber or a new subscriber, if you had that bell turned on or just turned on the bell, you've entered for a chance to win $500. We're doing the same exact giveaway on my Instagram page, $500 to a follower on my Instagram. And now that we got all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I was wrong with my Aaron Rodgers prediction, but through it all, I hope you guys knew that I was passing it off as a prediction, although there were some signs that indicated that he was going to the Denver Broncos. Personally, I thought the fact that the Broncos hired Nathaniel Hackett, they didn't draft a QB last year, and the fact that Aaron Rodgers was taking us on a circus ride, not only this year, but last year as well, was enough evidence that supported the claim that he was eventually going to leave the Green Bay Packers. I thought the fact that they only made it to the divisional round of the playoffs. As of now, they're expected to release Zadarius Smith, although they haven't released Zadarius Smith yet. And the fact that they just are in salary cap hell right now just made a lot of sense for them to move on from Aaron Rodgers to potentially see what they had in Jordan Love. I mean, after all, you spent a first round pick on Jordan Love, so wouldn't it make sense to actually see the type of player he is? Although most Green Bay Packers fans think that he isn't necessarily the greatest quarterback, obviously not especially compared to Aaron Rodgers. And I also felt like it would make sense to trade Aaron Rodgers for a ton of first round picks and second round picks to really jumpstart your rebuild. Ultimately though, I was wrong. This is one of those things that made a lot of sense to me, and unfortunately Aaron Rodgers isn't an individual that makes a lot of sense, and I'm really happy to move past this topic on my channel because according to none other than the great Pat McAfee, a true GOAT of our industry and definitely one of my influences, Aaron Rodgers is set to return to the Green Bay Packers. Now, the official tweet is breaking. According to my sources, Aaron Rodgers will officially be returning to the Green Bay Packers. There is no deal in place currently, but there is said to be a cap-friendly deal on the way. Retirement was a real consideration, and in the end, he's back with the Pack. Now, here's where things get a little interesting because Pat McAfee actually goes against what Ian Rappaport says next, stating that the Green Bay Packers and MVP QB Aaron Rodgers have agreed to terms on a 4-year, $200 million deal that makes him the highest paid player in NFL history. Sources say he gets a whopping $153 million guaranteed, and his salary cap number goes down, which is an insane commitment by Green Bay for years to come. Now, Pat McAfee says that this is actually incorrect news and that the deal hasn't officially been done yet. What we do know for sure is what's going to happen as a result of this deal, because the Green Bay Packers are now going to franchise tag Davante Adams, and as a result of the new cap room, according to Ian, who, bear in mind, Pat McAfee says that this contract is incorrect, the Packers are expected to franchise tag Davante Adams. So let's break this down. My reaction is literally the same reaction that Jerry Jeudy just had on Twitter. I am slightly annoyed. Not because I don't want the Green Bay Packers to succeed. I am so happy that you guys were able to retain your hometown hero, and I can't imagine the joy you guys are feeling from potentially seeing Aaron Rodgers in a Green Bay Packers jersey for the rest of his career. That's got to be an amazing feeling, and honestly, for those especially that grew up with Aaron Rodgers, I am extremely happy for you. The first thing that I'm thinking of is what the hell happens to Jordan Love? This is a man that is now starting to have an equivalent career start as Aaron Rodgers did. I mean, not equivalent, but there's a lot of similarities if you think about it. He was drafted in the late first round, although he wasn't considered to be the top quarterback in his NFL draft. He was still drafted late in the first round to be the successor to a Hall of Fame QB. In addition to that, the current Hall of Fame quarterback is consistently yo-yoing, leaving the Green Bay Packers and coming back and pondering retirement or possibly going to the Denver Broncos or a different team out there. So you have to kind of feel for the guy because he's now going on to year 3 of sitting on the bench for the Green Bay Packers. Now, what could the Packers do with him? They could potentially trade him. This year is a very weak NFL draft QB class, and there should be some teams that will at least make the call to see if Jordan Love is available because he's pretty much a more polished, raw prospect, and that's a little bit more comforting to build around than, say, a QB that you were just drafting out of the NFL draft this year and you have to start from scratch with. But at the same time, the Green Bay Packers could elect to keep Jordan Love. You don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to do something next year where a circus is going to ensue once again about him potentially being frustrated about something happening in the middle of the season, because the one thing I'm thinking of right now is why on earth did we jump through all of these hula hoops? Why did Aaron Rodgers get so frustrated last year at the Packers front office and make a thing out of his potential retirement or his potential departure from the Green Bay Packers for the second year in a row? That was a huge reason why I thought he was inevitably going to leave, and it seems like I wasn't the only individual that thought he was inevitably going to leave, because if you look at the Denver Broncos' recent moves, a lot of their decisions kind of pointed to them trying to bring on a big fish QB like Aaron Rodgers. They hired Nathaniel Hackett. They passed on Mac Jones and Justin Fields in a pretty decent QB draft, although the jury is out on Justin Fields and Mac Jones currently, and of course Patrick Surtain is a beast, but regardless, it seemed like they were all in on trying to acquire a QB, and they're still all in on trying to acquire a QB, because apparently now that Aaron Rodgers is remaining on the Green Bay Packers, the Denver Broncos are shifting their focus onto Russell Wilson. There's still Deshaun Watson, and ultimately, I guess if things go really bad, you could go into the year with Drew Lock or sign Mitchell Trubisky or another bridge quarterback, or maybe just go out with Teddy Bridgewater again, although it's not necessarily the most exciting thing to do if you're a Denver Broncos fan. So ultimately, yeah, the Green Bay Packers get Davante Adams back and get Aaron Rodgers back. I felt like the Broncos would have made a little bit more sense because they have a ton of salary cap space and already a very loaded wide receiver core and a pretty nice defense, whereas the Green Bay Packers are expected to, at least on paper, get a little bit weaker as a result of trying to retain Davante Adams and retain Aaron Rodgers. So at the end of the day, what I'm thinking of is, why did we go through all this? Was Aaron Rodgers frustrated at the front office and management and wanted to empower himself a little bit more as a player? And that's what started this entire cascade. He saw how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers empowered Tom Brady, wanted the same exact empowerment from the team that selected him in the NFL draft, and ultimately it seems like he may have gotten that. It seems like Green Bay told him, hey, if you want Randall Cobb, we'll trade for Randall Cobb. If you feel a specific way about the direction of our franchise, we will take that specific path. Or do you think that this could have potentially been about money? Maybe he really just wanted to be the highest paid player in the NFL, because we still don't know if the Ian Rappaport report is correct, but Ian Rappaport states that he could potentially get $50 million a year. as a result of this contract extension into his early 40s. So at the end of the day, I think this was either about money or just his desire to be empowered as one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, and ultimately it seems like Aaron Rodgers got what he truly wanted. You factor in the fact that he had a good time this past year and he's really cherished the relationships in his locker room and he really feels a bond with his teammates, and it kind of makes sense why he would return, because at the end of the day, he got the contract, his front office is finally listening to personnel decisions, his relationship with Brian Gutekunst has improved, and if we're being honest, as fun as it would have been to see him face off against Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes in the Las Vegas Raiders twice a year, you have to admit that the path to the Super Bowl is significantly easier in the NFC than in the AFC, where you have to go through Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Yeah, the NFC has remarkable teams in its own right, but I'd rather go through teams like the LA Rams, who are currently in salary cap hell. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't have Tom Brady anymore, so you don't have to worry about him. Yeah, you have the San Francisco 49ers, who have been your kryptonite for the past couple years, but who knows how they're going to be under Trey Lance. So it seems like at the end of the day, it makes sense why he would roll the dice with the Green Bay Packers again, based off of how things are going on in the NFL. But it looks like my prediction was wrong. I'm glad we can move on past this personally. It's been exhausting covering this man over the past year and a half, but I had a lot of fun doing it. Obviously, I've learned a lot from this entire experience as well, and I think it's helped me grow as a creator as well. But of course, feel free to roast the living hell out of me in the comment section down below, because my prediction was wrong. He didn't go to the Denver Broncos in the end, and if you're a Packers fan, I'm happy for you. If you're a Broncos fan, things are probably going to get a little interesting for you over the next couple weeks. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this decision. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.